Good morning, PT on Ice crew. It is Leadership Thursday. I will be your host today. I'm Dr. Sarah Herron, coming at you live from Seattle, Washington, where it is 5:30 a.m. I've got Instagram over here. I've got Facebook Live right here. And today I want to talk about kind of a mindset shift and how to have a business mindset during quarantine. I wrote a couple things down because I think this is a big topic. So if you see me looking down, it's really because we're all human. We don't memorize this stuff. And I spent some time putting some different thoughts together that I think is really important for us to share, or for me to share. I teach the Out of Network Step-by-Step course, and we're actually adding a new instructor. Her name is Kate Blankshane, and we're really excited to have two female leaders in the space of business because I think it brings a little bit of a different edge to this. But in being a leader in this space, I've been faced with a lot of tension in my own mindset about kind of having that self-acceptance to be scared, be nervous, feel paralyzed, feel overwhelmed, not know how to use my time, cry, scream, stress, be mad, all of those things, right? We've put so much sweat equity into our businesses and into leadership skills and managing a staff and getting a practice off the ground. In my case, leading others through teaching and establishing routines for people. And now we're in quarantine. So I want that acceptance of being okay to feel all of those ways to also parallel my ability to still have an impact and to not become complacent. So I know that so many people are struggling with this. We're seeing this a lot on social media. We're seeing posts about it. And now it's time to really think about how we can put this into action. How can we find a common ground here, give ourselves a little grace, and also not drop the ball when we actually have this time to get stuff done. How many times in your life have you said, oh my gosh, I just wish I had a couple extra days to get shit done? Now you do. So on Monday, let's see, on the 30th, Jeff went on and talked about, he did Q&A Monday. And some of the questions came about to be, how are you using this time right now? And I think that's great because everybody's wondering, like, how are you guys using your time? Because we don't know how to use our time. And he gave some great ideas, exercise, spending time with family, learning to cook, all of these things that I think are really valuable in our life. He also left us with a quote, and I'm going to repeat it here because I think it's a really wise quote to keep in the back of your mind. When fishermen can't go to sea, they mend their nets. Okay, so as physical therapists, as business owners, as leaders in our community, as coaches, we are unable to perform our craft, right? But that doesn't mean that we can't spend our time sharpening that axe, right? Mending our nets, making sure that everything feels smooth around us, mending ourselves, touching base with what we need. Okay, so over the last week, I went ahead and I posted a bunch of ideas for people on how to use their time. The first thing that I talked about was being okay with just like being stressed. It's fine. It's fine. This is unprecedented. This is new. A lot of PTs are laid off right now. As an instructor for a business class, I'm in a position going, who wants to start a small business right now? We'll get to that in a moment. But I think we're all struggling with, like, where is this going? How long is this going? I'm scared. I'm nervous. I don't know what to do about finances. I don't know what to do. Do I apply for a small business loan? Do I just wait and see? Do I apply for unemployment? What do I do? Meanwhile, many people are homeschooling their children, right? Dealing with spouses that have been laid off, dealing with who knows what else. Maybe somebody's actually sick, right? So when I hear people like stressing about having to be inside and not getting to do their heavy like squat clean cycle, that annoys me because there's a lot of bigger problems That doesn't mean that we can't be working on our fitness. Of course, that's a great idea, but let's be kind to each other and let's recognize that we're all on this spectrum and we're all trying to figure this out. Okay. Now, how can we put this into action? All right, I've got a couple key points that I want you to think about this week. I will reference some posts, and in fact, in Hump Day Hustling of last week, there's a link to the Instagram post. Now, there's a difference between writing an Instagram post or reading an Instagram post or reposting an Instagram post and actually taking action. Okay, these are ideas. This doesn't mean I've done all of it. I'm not perfect and I'm still working through this. But these are my ideas as a teacher. Okay, so these trials will continue, right? So this is probably not close to being done. And I think that the biggest stress that people have is that some businesses have closed. Oh, I'll take this back. One of the bigger stresses that a lot of physical therapists are facing is the ethical dilemma of, do we close our business? Do we stay open? I'm not here to judge that or to make any suggestions, just to say that is an additional stress that we are feeling as healthcare providers in a essential, perhaps, profession. Okay, so again, that adds to the anxiety, the stress, the hectic feeling, the pull in different directions of where is our role in this world. So today, starting today, if you haven't already, I want you to make a plan. Okay, so we don't know the timeline. We have no idea, but let's just write a couple things down. Let's just brainstorm. What can we be doing during this time? Okay, so I'm gonna list a couple things that I wrote down for myself. Move your body. I'm not the best at that. I love to exercise. That's usually my anxiety remedy. But right now I'm like out of my mind. I don't care. And that's okay. But I also need to start holding myself accountable. So I wrote it down. Check in with my staff. Work on the course. We're coming up with a new course. We're adding an advanced course. I have all this time right now to be working on that, and I should use that, right? Instead of being stressed when I'm trying to see patients and run a practice, that I also have all this other stuff to do. I'm going to work on refreshing my websites. I'm going to write a blog. I'm going to send a newsletter to my patients. And I'm going to spend some time creating video content that I hate doing. Okay. We have a little bit of extra time, so let's write down a plan of what you're going to be able to get done. That doesn't mean you have to do all of it, but it will help you stay accountable. All right, for those of you who are interested in starting your own business and are kind of going like, oh my God, this is not good timing, or maybe you already did and you're nervous, that's okay. We all feel like that. That doesn't mean that it's not going to work. PT is not going anywhere. People still value good care and good quality business models. Okay, so we're going to continue to teach this course. We're going to continue to promote your brands, and all the effort that you're putting in is not wasted. Okay. However, let's use this time to become very clear on our why. We're going to talk about this a lot in the course, which starts on Monday. But we're going to talk about this challenge of figuring out your why. And why is okay, no matter what it is. If it's, I want to start a small business, cool, that's awesome. If it's, I want to be an Instagram influencer, perfectly acceptable. Maybe I want to work less and make more. If that's your why, that is fine. I don't want you to be embarrassed about these things. Write them down. You don't have to share them with anybody. Maybe you want to leave your job. Maybe you've had it and you're done with that job. Write it down, okay? Your why does not have to be centered around other people. It can be for you. And it's perfectly fine to say, I want to make more money and have more security. That's not a guarantee that starting your own practice will give you that, but that is your why. Then you write it down and go from there. Okay. How do we get there? How do we bring that why to life? Okay. What sets us apart? This is another list I want you to make about yourself or your brand, your practice. Okay. Or both. What sets you apart? What makes patients want to see you? It's not because you don't take their insurance. I guarantee that. Okay. So I want those of you in cash practice or out of network practice or hybrid practice to really work on not selling that model, but instead selling yourself, selling your goods, selling your practice. Okay. We're selling our practice. We're not selling the model. So what brings value? What do we have that sets us apart? For me, I connect really well with people and I listen. I've been a therapist for 13 years, and over time, that practice has led me to having a large community of patients who continue to see me. Is that because I'm a clinically skilled therapist? I don't know. I think I'm a good therapist, but I think it has more to do with that connection and that people trust me. Okay, so that sets me apart from some other clinicians who maybe don't have that interpersonal skill dialed in as well. I'm a natural leader. I don't love being on live Instagram or Facebook feeds, but I do know that I have something to say to people. And so I can use these platforms and channel my inner superhero, my power pose, right? And get in front of you guys to say what I need to say and to say what I think you need to hear. I view that I impact women who want to make a difference. And so that's really important to me. And that's really important to a large community of PTs, women or otherwise, right? So these are things that set me apart as a leader, as a teacher, as a PT. I'm skilled in CrossFit. I coach CrossFit. That brings that community to me, right? I used to be a ballerina. That brings that community to me. So what is it that sets you apart? It's not because you don't take insurance. Okay, so instead of talking about other models and what they're not, let's start mapping out who we are and start to think about what we can create from that list, content-wise, website-wise, right? Like we can make videos about this, we can make brochures about this, we can start thinking about our marketing strategies with this overarching theme. Okay, so we're gonna make a plan, we're gonna figure out our why, we're gonna figure out what sets us apart. Okay, those are some lists that you can start working on, even if you're feeling crappy and you just want to sit on your couch, which I think it's okay, right? Like let's be okay with it. Let's not add shame to that whole list of things that we're already dealing with. And then maybe that will help us get out of that cycle. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with thinking about what we can do now, right? So we can make these lists and we can put them into action. I think that the biggest way to use our time is to really view that we can spend a lot of effort making content. Okay, that is one of the biggest cruxes for people who want to run their own practice, is that they don't feel like they have time to make content, and content is what sells, right? That's what people want to see. That's how they know who you are. So if we have a little extra time and we have a list guiding us or some kind of thought process where we can really dive into what we're trying to communicate to people, then we can spend some time making content. Okay, so again, it's not just enough to repost what other people are putting on Instagram or to listen to a podcast or to read a book and post that you did that. Let's put these things into action. Let's write a blog about it. Okay, let's make a video that's going to help other people. Let's make an ebook. We have more time than we normally do. And especially for those of us who are thinking about or planning to start our own practice, now is like gold time. This is like, I wish I had had this time. It's pretty amazing. Now, that doesn't discount how stressful it is and how weird it is and how it's really hard to get motivated. I think that that is true. And I think that that's important for us to respect. Okay, everybody's different and everybody's going through different things. So again, accountability, but kindness. Okay. So I'm going to leave you here today with those thoughts. And if you have any questions or need to vent, please reach out to us. We have a little extra time on our hands and we're happy to touch base with you guys. We have a large community of PTs that listen to ICE and that look to these leaders in this space. And we have a lot of great ideas for you guys. So you're not alone. The choices that you're making right now are fine and valid. And these are just things to think about. If you have any interest in joining us for the out-of-network course, it does start actually it's going to start on Sunday. We're going to have our first meeting on Sunday, but it officially starts on Monday, the 6th, and we do have a few spots left, so get signed up. And after that, we are going to be revealing our advanced course. And a revamp of the essentials course. So this will be the last course that's kind of all jammed together. So if you'd like to get in on that, let us know. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. It's Thursday, in case you've forgotten what day of the week it is. It's almost the weekend. Be kind to yourselves, and we will touch base later. Goodbye.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.